Hello, I'm Joel Langford. I am a certified body talk practitioner. I'm also a Parama body talk practitioner. And today I'd like to talk to you about emotional regulation. I recently went to some training. It was a body talk training. This is training in a technique called Tipi, T-I-P-I. Tipi was developed in France by French researchers. It's actually quite common in Europe. There's also a lot of folks in the United States that are beginning to use Tipi. Specifically, Tipi addresses the ability to regulate emotional distress by simply observing the physical responses that we have to that emotional distress. So as an example, if you had a car accident and it was very emotional, and every time you see cars go by, you have these physical issues, like you can't breathe very well and your heart speeds up and I get a headache and my stomach doesn't feel well, and you really want that to go away, we can help that out with Tipi. The thing that we do in a Tipi session is, first of all, we talk about what it is that you're trying to resolve. Tipi is not appropriate for all situations, but for some situations it is. We will then have a session for about 30 minutes. In that session, we will relate the situation that kind of represents this emotional difficulty, and then at some point we'll stop and have you pay attention only to the physical sensations in your body right at that moment. So we're not going to relive, if you would, the emotional distress. That's not what this is about. This is not a counseling session. This is trying to trigger your body's own natural mechanisms for relieving these sorts of distressing situations. After we're done with the situation, we may go through it several times. What you'll find is that the trigger simply doesn't trigger any longer. We'll have a follow-up session to make sure that that happens and has been effective. And then you'll be all done with that particular emotional distress item. We also have techniques in body talk that are very similar. As an example, active memory is a technique, and I've used that for years. I like to use both of these, but I like to do them in not together. So I like to have a Tipi session when it's appropriate, and if we're going to have a body talk session, I'd like to have a body talk session. They're just different ways of getting your body to naturally release those distressing emotions so that you can live your life comfortably. If you have some distressing emotions that you simply keep reliving and cannot relieve, and you'd like to do something about that, please think about giving me a call and having a Tipi session. You can reach me at 406-529-2190. I'm looking forward to your call and helping you out with your emotional distress.